So, if you guys were looking forward to the ME-90 and you placed a pre-order just like I did in 2023, and then you were kind of disappointed with the sounds you got out of the device, then I think we fall in the same camp, right? So the reason I pre-ordered the ME-90 was because I was getting tired of fiddling with 200 different parameters. I wanted something simple but effective. I don't consider myself to be like a studio musician. I just need something that sounds decent out of the box. And for my fancy, really high quality sounds, I have a combo amp from Mesa, which is purely for my, auditory pleasure. But anything that I'm recording, I'm okay with having a device that sounds halfway decent, right? That I don't have to mess around too much with. With the ME-90, I really love the knobs and the physical layout of the stuff that you can adjust in real time and hear the difference. But I really didn't like the unavoidable top end, that fizzy sound that kind of obscures all the finer details of the amp modeling that's in there. And I know that these amp models sound much better because for a period of time I had the Boss IR200, which is just a standalone amp modeler, and that had some other IRs in there, and that sounds so much better than my ME-90. But regrettably, I got rid of that, and I have my ME-90. The good thing is you can still load your own IRs onto this device, and I'm going to show you the extent of the difference that makes. So let's jump into this. Right now I have this sound that's labeled as 60s fuzz because I haven't changed the name yet, but it's actually a patch from the YouTuber Jonathan Cordy, who makes really amazing patches on different stuff, and that he made this deluxe combo based clean patch. I'm going to show you the difference having an IR makes. A side note, these IRs that I got are all free. I just went into YouTube and I did 5 minutes of research with free IRs. So I settled on two IRs from Spectre Sound Studios. They sound great, and another from Kohler Studios, I believe, and that's for a more 90s sort of a cabinet with a more scoop sound, which you'll see soon. So this is what the clean sounds are like on the neck pickup of my guitar. So it's not a bad sound, but you're gonna see the details that I'm missing when I change the IR to this vintage V30 emulation. It's an SM57 emulation. Works really nicely for the clean sounds. Actually, let me go to this one instead, which is also an emulation with the 440 mic. I don't really know, but it sounds really good. Check this out. So you can tell that the high end is something to particularly note here. I am playing through like a headrush monitor, but even through that, I can tell that in the original IR, the top end details are obscured by this weird fizz, right? And this one cuts a lot of that fizz, so you can hear a lot more of the top end clarity. You can especially hear this when you're playing like the single note lines, and I'm going to show you right now. With the single note lines, with the volume where it is right now, there's this weird clipping that happens. I don't know how well that's going to translate to the computer, but it's not a very dynamic sound. Like the subtleties in your pick attack doesn't really get translated very well because of the weird way the gain interacts with the signal. It's almost like it plateaus, Coil split it for a second. Right, nothing remarkable. But with this IR, instant improvement. Right, and I can mess around with this all day, but let's keep moving on because I don't only want to show you the clean stuff. I kind of want to touch on the crunchier sounds, the more smooth gain sound, and maybe some higher gain stuff too. Let's see. So I'm actually going to go to this boutique tone also from Jonathan Cordy. Like that whole ME-90 set is actually really nice. So this is what that sounds like. Let's stay on the neck pickup for a second. Sensing the same issue with this one, even though at its root it's a pretty nice patch. A lot of the details get just obscured. So let's try the same 441. Right away you can just tell that there are more details in this sound. Sorry that my playing isn't very inspired today, but right, love that sound though. And even if I go to like a cab that's not meant for this kind of a tone, it still sounds better. Right, let's go back to the original sound. It's not a bad sound, but I mean, it just leaves more to be desired, right? And this is going to get more and more apparent as you keep increasing your gain, because I think that's where the in-house IRs really seem to fail. Let's go to this Marshall sound that's more for like a lead tone. Let's check this out. Okay, let's go to the bridge pickup for this one. Let's split the bridge pickup. Delay and reverb almost makes you forget that the original sound, needs some improvement. And again, if you go to the 440 sound, it's undeniable, really. It's a more controlled sound. Let's go to that scooped cabinet sound. Going with the humbucker. Fun sounds, going back to the original. Physics right back. And this time you can't really unhear it, right? Just for shits and giggles, let's just try a rectifier tone. And the reason I want to do rectifier is because that's one of the high gain amp sounds, which in my opinion, most modelers struggle with, just because it has that sound that kind of can get messed up real easy on most modelers, just because it has a fizzy quality to it, right? Which in person sounds great, but then it's modeled, it doesn't always sound that good. So let's hear what that sounds like on the ME-90 with the original IR. Again, I'm just going to be playing some plain chugging shit over here. Yeah, that sounds pretty shitty in my opinion. I don't know, man. This is just one of the patches, the presets that the device came with, right? So let's try one of the cabinets that I was using for clean sounds. Let's see if that sounds any better. So this one isn't really meant for a high gain tone, you can tell, but what it does do is take a lot of the boominess away, which I appreciate. But let's go to that 90s scooped cab and let's see what that sounds like. And I feel like this sound can be improved a little bit by adjusting the EQ. So if we can turn the bass a little bit, scoop the mids a little bit more. Let's see what that sounds like now. I think that's a better sound, a little bit less bassy. Going back, if I play the original tone now, even with the EQ engaged, yeah, it sounds almost like there is no IR. It sounds like the amp is just being played directly into a speaker, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's definitely a more fun sound. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Like, there is you can actually get really nice sounds out of the ME-90. All you have to do is find some good IRs that work for you. These IRs I just got by trolling around YouTube for like 5 minutes, right? I'm sure there's better sounding stuff out there. These just happen to be easily accessible, right? I'm sure there are many IRs that you can buy that sound even better for $5, right? And you can drastically improve the tone of a lot of your patches. I did minimal tweaking to these tones, as you can see, but I definitely think there's hope for this device. And I want there to be hope for this device because I love the layout. I love all the little knobs and stuff. I love how simple it is. And yeah, budget stuff for the win, always. Cheers.